All right, everyone, welcome back. We had a fairly short break. It wasn't too long there, thankfully. We had a small server issue which did prolong things, but we're just about ready to get going here on Inferno. JJH's map choice, they had a fantastic T-side yesterday, coming out with 9 rounds on that first half, and then despite a 7-7 effort in the second half from NASR to try and claw things back, they just didn't really have the room to work with. But now, coming off a slightly more decisive victory on Mirage there as well, you've got to think if they can turn things around here on their CT side, their T side clearly was capable, and perhaps the 2-0 is still possible.
Yeah, they need to shore up some holes in that CT side, don't they? If they can do that, it feels very viable. If not, Vertigo, a bit of an unknown factor on the end. Certainly be looking to carry some of that success, as you said. The previous map, a marked improvement from yesterday. See if they can do similar here. No defuse kit. Interestingly, normally a staple of Inferno, but not picking one up this time. They could leave them in trouble here. Pop flash into Banana, catches multiple players blind. A push down mid as well from Almeza. Completely isolated in it, but he manages to grab one. Wants to isolate Facecrack as well, and does. That's the utility dropped as now they swing from Banana. And in the blink of an eye, it's 3 quick kills going against the JJH boys, and Blue Phoenix is left. Well, tucking himself into underpass, hoping to be cheeky with the timing. Very nearly is, but Remind is quick to put him down, and that is a nice pistol from NASR.
Yeah, having a look back, they did actually win the pistol and the following round yesterday as well. It was afterwards, when they lost out the gun round, that things really went south, and they didn't really chain anything together until the final 2 rounds of the half then. So I'm going to wait until I really start saying they're looking better here on Inferno. But yeah, considering, as you said, what they were able to do on Mirage as well, certainly hopeful that that decisive pistol round there from them is a good sign of things to come. JJH, we know that they're going to be a strong Inferno team as well. Heavy SMG buy. I mean, it is Inferno after all, but I always say it's a somewhat risky investment. I mean, you want a rifle or 2 in there in terms of firepower, and also so that, well, you don't have just full SMGs. Not everyone can earn their money back and actually make dividends. Realize pushing down mid, hoping to do so. Unfortunately, going to be punished after only 1 kill. Suddenly now a 4-on-3 for JJH. And only a single player towards this A bomb site pushed up in apps.
That solo A player is going to start feeling fidgety here. In towards Boiler. Going to swing it. He'll get one, but again, the Tech 9 up close and personal. Immediately there for the trade. Man advantage available for JJH as they swarm the site. Fast play towards short. Nobody invisibility, and again, the lack of a rifle might come back to bite them here. Ranged engagement. 2 MP9s inside of the site itself. It starts to look really rough. The double short retake. Isolating some fights. They get the first straight down. Good for 2. And Bibu and Almeza combining brilliantly. For a split second there, that looked wobbly, but they buy themselves a little bit of time. That early kill onto Facecrack, you can see the communication just a little slow to the second man, so JJHDavCost can't respond in time. And NASR dig themselves out of what could have been a very nasty hole there. Second round on the board, but it's expensive.
Yeah, and well, thankfully the players, at least 2 of the players who did go down, actually got a kill each with the MP9 before dying. So it ends up propping up their buy here for them to come right back onto the rifles on at least a couple players, and then an op even on Realize, which I don't know if I love that against this weaker buy from JJH. I think they're expecting the rifle straight up, which was a possibility, but it's not what JJH have gone for. I think they're confident in their ability to grind out a strong T side, so they just want to get towards the guns as soon as possible. And the buy they have here still lets them do potentially a ton of damage. Almeza pushing straight down Banana. That's risky somewhat. Will be traded after only a 1-for-1. Giving away the Mac 10 as well. A chance here for more to potentially add to his own economy while also doing some damage, which is always a nice little bonus. And now he has a Deagle, which he could gift over to Blue Phoenix if he wants.
Oh, nice shot from Mestal. Opens up this A side. Starts to get awkward for Remind. He's blind. And this T side continuing to click. Another 2v3 retake of A. NASR starting to get some flashbacks here. We've been here before. Rifles gifted. Bibu looking for something inside of that smoke. He's dropped his SMG. I think he thinks there's a rifle in amongst it, but the save has been called by the AWPer. Just Bibu remaining. Jumping about with that tech, not finding anything, so he will retreat to the site to bodyguard that AWP. And again, you start to question that play down Banana, right? Like you said, it felt a little risky. Going 1-for-1, never ideal for a CT side. And Well, you've just propped up JJH. They went for the half buy. They make it land. 2 rifles saved across. Their economy's going to blossom, and there's going to be some big questions for NASR on the CT side.
Bit of deja vu to yesterday. And it's not even the gun round that actually kicks it off for JJH this time. No, it's the half buy that they managed to make work. Capitalizing on the damage and what was also a very close investment in the round before that. And now leaving NASR in a pretty shaky position. 2 M4s, a couple MP9s and a Tech 9 to work with. Sorry, 1 M4 and an op. My bad, of course. Both of those, of course, being saved. The investment behind it isn't all that great. They have a shot. They definitely have what you need to get something done on an Inferno. They have a decent amount of utility. They can maybe, I was going to say, get the early banana control, but they've actually instead just put a deep smoke and decided to keep a player very passive on B. So somewhat feigning the presence. And instead,
Don't mind it.
a stack around brackets, which, yeah, I do like this setup. Whether it's going to work or not is the question, though, because for now it's a pretty passive hold. They're waiting, I think, for this the smoke to fade away, and then they'll look to at least get some early banana control and then see what I suppose is open with the time they have available.
There's going to be a little bit of a pop in towards bracket from Meztal. Flashbang to get himself out. Molotov to clear the corners. This is going to make this short setup rough to hold on to. Smoke goes in to extinguish the molly. They know what's up now. Meza flirting with the edges of the smokes. Dangerous game. Got the setup, but Bibu bites early. Tries to drop off of it. Meztal gets a gift. Now, Propler looks very isolated on that angle. Almeza through the smoke will be able to back him up for one, and Propler will be able to swing for the second. And that's enough to force them to rethink plans. Doubling back over towards B. It's onto the AWP. Missed shot to open it up. Needs that and lands it at the second time. More goes down. That buys time because the bomb was on his back, so it's slow on the transfer. Facecrack at least will get in towards those coffins. Knows he's got to deal with the awkward realize. Tagged up, found. Blue Phoenix catches Almeza through the smoke. And it's a 2-on-2 retake again for this CT side. AWP recoverable as well. No utility, no kit. They've got to get into this lightning fast if they're going to have any chance of getting the retake going. Blue Phoenix is the first problem, and he's got both of them. JJH again stringing it together.
A ridiculous turnaround as well. They just got decimated, and when they walked into that mid stack and somehow Blue Phoenix and Facecrack were giving them a little bit of assistance, they're able to take things back and, well, kind of saved the day. There would have been a ton of trouble. The economy would have been pretty much broken for JJH if things went south right there. There would have been a few players, as you can see, who would have had some money at least, but it wouldn't have been a comfortable position by any means. Instead, now it's NASR who are put down onto just some pistols being upgraded. They get 2400, so even then their buy isn't going to be flawless in this next round. Should at least have an op and body armor there on Realize, so they won't be limited in that regard. But if JJH can take a clean round here for themselves and really start stabilizing their economy, then potentially they are on track to start building up towards a similar T-side half as we seen from them yesterday, which was 9 rounds. And they also started building up from that after initially going down 2-0 as they did here.
Starting to feel that way, isn't it? Cleaning up these pistols with no real issues. Almeza last up. Quickly dealt with. Lovely stuff from JJH. And now you start to ask those questions again, right? CT side, what can you do here on Inferno? The buy will come in. It's a little rough around the edges. MP9 for Almeza. FAMAS out for Bibu. Realize sacrificing head armor. What's the response from NASR? Again, it's just that CT side rotation timing's not quite right. Just small things making a big difference. For NASR, they need to find the corrective course. Improvements on Mirage. Where are the improvements on Inferno? Heavy utility commitment into Banana early, trying to isolate these fights, but it's Bibu who's taking a ton of damage here. Barely chipping away at the T side. Taking so much damage himself. He tries to swing for more. He's brought down single digits, 2 health remaining as he escapes. And they've not really done all that much. You know, he's practically 1 foot in the grave, and JJHDavCost has got half health. That's the best damage they've done.
And that wasn't even really from the initial utility. I think a little bit of a spam managed to catch on to JJHDavCost at the end of Banana, the latter moment. So yeah, definitely not a worthwhile trade in terms of damage. The banana control should still be kept by more, and the rest of them now moving back towards A, but it is going to be a double setup in the halls, as you can see. Realize catches the initial kill before the backup is even needed. Problem is, they've given away mid, and with that, Blue Phoenix has crept his way around towards long. It might prompt them in towards a B split, though, which might be an issue considering there's already one waiting in the spawn, and then the double setup still on that B bomb site.
Yeah, this was a known risk. It's going to be Almeza who's the key. And towards CT spawn. His footsteps heard as he retreats. He's going to make this ugly. Timing everything here. Propler really got to do most of the heavy lifting with Bibu tagged down to single digits. And now that CT starts to come in. 2 quick kills. Propler gets 1. But he needs so much more than that. He has to buy time for these rotations and he's stuck. They know where he is. They've got him pinned. There's nothing more he can do. FaceCrack takes him out. And now the CT side, a huge decision to make. DavCost scoped up on CT with that AWP. Flashed off, will go down. May well tempt them in here, but FaceCrack is immediately there with the response. And for Realize, this 1v2, it feels all but impossible. AWP working his way out of Banana, just not being given anything. And at this point, I think you've got to look at your economy and you've got to make the tough call. It's a 4th round for GG House, surely.
Yeah. Given at this point, of course, Realize just hoping to hang on to the op and maybe do some damage in the meantime. There's 1 kill. Might even be caught in the retreat, though, and, well, that's not really worthwhile. The economy's actually pretty stable at this point already for GG How with a commanding few rounds in a row for them. On the other hand, NASR desperately could have done with the op here to try and at least have some primary weapon to work around. Instead, now it's going to be pistols and SMG in there. Realize probably won't even be joining them with that much investment if he wants to ensure the op in this following round. He could get a little bit, though. They have full loss bonus, of course. So I'm a little bit surprised, but he wants full utility, I suppose, behind it. A bit more of a support opper in that role, perhaps, which makes sense on a map like Inferno. And again, the gamble towards that A stack being taken. Understandable with the investment they have.
Don't mind it at all. Similar problems starting to emerge on this CT side for NASR. Nice opening from Remind this time, however. AK down. Potentially in a position to be recovered as well. And then maybe, just maybe, they can build something from that. But for now, they're playing passive. DavCost coped up, edge of the short smoke, and Realize just a little too keen. Gets his head cleaved. Evens things out in the 4-on-4. Yes, the HE damage is good, but the AK not recovered. Blue Phoenix now lurking the apartments. Still a stack over towards A for the time being, and it does look like that's the site to be tested, so maybe a little bit of opportunity in that. Utility strong for the T side of GG How. They've got the execute in the back pocket here. 2 smokes and a flashbang. They've got the firepower to get this done. They'll start to walk into it now. It's going to be between Remind and Propler to get something done. Now Mesa joining them inside of the site. Smokes go out. They'll gun down 1. The MP9 for a second needs the reload though and is punished. Almeza last up inside of the site, trying to give himself a new angle. Just refresh his positioning. A little bit of something with 20 seconds left. DavCost, Hawk in hand, will go down to it, and now it's a 1v2. Almeza grabs the AWP. Blue Phoenix trying to work his way out in towards Graves. Spotted. 15 seconds left. He knows he's got to get inside of this site sooner rather than later. Sets himself up on the double boxes. Lands 1. 10 seconds. Bomb. Recovered. Sticks the plant fully. Bibu's not going to swing it. Bomb goes down on the headshot angle. Blue Phoenix clutches it up. And GG How continue their stomp through Inferno.
Damn, the balls to stick that plant right there as well. It really was just a game of chicken on both sides at that point, and, well, apparently the pros don't fake. Slogan, I suppose, goes both ways, not just defuses, but also the plants in this case. 5-2. I mean, we're getting some incredibly close rounds over these past couple, but it's just not enough for NASR. GG How had already kind of stabilized their economy, so they can keep on buying, and while they're not really building on it anymore, it's not getting all that close to being broken. Definitely a good time for this pause to be called.
Something has to change. Need to find some consistency again. That CT side, it was the problem before, and it's the problem again.
It's looking like it could even be a bit worse this time around.
As you said, economy decently built up across the board on GG How. It's not going to get any easier. Even if they do manage to sneak around away, the buys are going to keep coming at them. They need to find a way to consistently break this one down now. And the utility exchanged, as always, for Inferno. Just dumping your nades. Realize flashed off his first angle. Orpa's position known. The Molotov and the final ticks. Doing a lot of the heavy lifting as they start to work their way up Banana as well. The T side again, just taking this map control away. Slowly but surely. Fully set up for an execute if they want to pop it into B here. There is utility on Almeza and Bibu. Couple of Molotovs to stall it out. The retake util even going in, but that's going to be counter-smoked. We take a pause just for a moment as JJH look to back up in towards that A site again and see if they can get something done.
There's just so little info from for NASR with the positions that they're playing. You can see the intimidation kind of, and JJH of course have done a good job of pushing them back slowly, especially now as they do push out mid. The option for the long split looking like it might be what they favor towards, and right now Propla is heavily committed to the angle, decides thankfully to back off the Moto now so he can play alongside his teammates, and well, it looks to be the right call. Realize already has one on the initial push towards short. That seems to have actually completely halted the plan for JJH, and they don't have a lot of time. JJHDavCost though catches a perfect time when they're on towards Remind, and now this becomes a problem. Tucked in on the bomb site, Propla alongside Realize, both of them already heavily tagged up, and they can't get anything else on the defense. The bomb's going to be planted, and rounds just continue to spiral out of control for NASR.
They've just got nothing on this CT side. They really haven't. You get an isolated pick, and that's it. As you said, playing so passively. Giving so little room. Not getting any real info about what's going on, and every time it's just a punishment because they're hitting a site, and if you haven't got that info, if you can't steal that rotation on the CT side of Inferno, you're always at a disadvantage. Every round you're playing a man down. Whichever site they look to hit, you can't reinforce it enough, and we're seeing it time and again here. 6 on the board for JJH, and quite frankly, I think they're going to be thinking of Vertigo already, because we've seen this before, and this is looking, as you said, even a little bit worse from NASR on the CT side.
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of surprised with how they're playing things, with how passive they are, with how unwilling they are to take any risks, considering that's the exact opposite of what we've seen from them in pretty much every other map that we've got to see them play anyway. That's only been like 3, maybe 4, so it's not a massive pool, but I don't know, it's just confusing because this map really does rely on the taking risks towards Banana, maybe even every now and again with a peek up in apps towards second mid, with a flash even over from a teammate. Something to show some presence and slow the T's down from just being able to freely walk over you and take all of that control and restrict your info.
An avenue. Aggression into the apartments, this time punished. Nade stack to follow. Oh, you got to do something, but that is not it. 2 quick picks. This one's gone. They're not going to expect the aggression long. Bibu's brought down low. Goes from bad to worse for the CT side here. One man inside of that A side. Realize playing amongst the smokes, the timing. Surely going to be his undoing. It's a rough old fight, and he does manage to find one inside of the apps. The problem is with his position now known, and with Meztal continuing to cut his teammates down, how much more can he realistically do? The answer is none. And NASR again, tuck tail, run. JJH are going to hunt this. This is just a little bit of an exhibition at the moment of a T side.
Ouch. I mean, at least yesterday they were managing to get around in there every now and again. The main issue was they were never chaining anything together, so they kept just getting broken down and put on half buys, and allowing for JJH, of course, to grind towards the 9 rounds that they got. But this is just incredibly decisive. At this rate, I'm expecting a 13-2 because NASR have absolutely nothing to give us. And again, that's not it's probably going to be the case in this following round. They have a bit of money on Propla and Realize. Obviously, at this point, they have full loss bonus going, so they might be able to buy with the drop from Bibu as well. He needs to carry that weapon over if that's to happen, and well, he actually does manage to do so. It's Meztal who goes down instead to the explosion. Not too sure how that's how that's turned out, but I guess similar to what we seen yesterday, not everyone has adjusted to the explosion yet. 7-2. This is ridiculous. I was not expecting it to go like this. At least a bit of a scrap usually is given by NASR. They try and get a couple punches in, but right now they're just hurled up in a fetal position. That's what it seems like in the bomb sites.
It's just... I honestly am a little lost for words. It is just not working.
Have we tried turning that off and on again?
I feel like they may as well.
Quick reconnect. Refresh the...
Just get up, take a
anything
walk.
at
like,
this point.
Yeah. Nothing is working for them. It definitely feels like something has to change. I'm not even sure what at this point. GG
Not giving up all the map control would be a good start.
It would be nice, but I mean, in this round they can't afford to contest any of it.
Yeah.
They haven't got the util, so
in the next at least. They're willing to take this risk for the A stack, but they haven't really been willing to go 3 towards B early on to actually get some presence around Banana established so that they can do so.
yeah, it does feel like they're firing shots in the dark a little bit with the A stacks, doesn't it? They get prodded, they get poked. Either they get a couple kills and fine, GG How double back to B, or they die. And either way, the round goes south very quickly. All 5 this time up towards bracket. And the A stack again is going to be tested. Couple of MP9s, couple of pistols. There's some potential here. The nades go into pit though, and that's a freebie onto Realize. That makes it next up on the chopping block. And quick as you like, 3 kills come in, the A site's taken, and the round is over.
Yeah, just rinse and repeat at this stage. Bit of a save as always over towards that B bomb site. I'm just surprised with, as I said, how decisive this has been. We have no idea what to expect of Vertigo though. Is it GG How I think who have actually played a game on it? Yeah, there's no record from NASR. GG How, as I had said, at least the core, the Israeli players have played it together, and well, they seem okay. They lost it to one-tap the Romanian team, but they're pretty competent, I would say, as well. And it's better than no experience. But as we kind of mentioned before, it is definitely a wild card as a decider. But if GG How can have the momentum from a victory along the lines of how they're playing right now, then yeah, they definitely would be looking to be a bit favoured for sure. Kill from Bibu, maybe to confirm the save of that M4. JJHDavCost definitely wants to hunt. It's not like they don't have the money. I don't think the time is going to allow it.
Yeah, they were a little cautious on the hunt, so they will get away with saving a bit. Problem is, what do they do with it? They're 8-2 down. They've not got a rifle buy-in. Since the pistol conversion, they've not even looked close. They need something to change. Full buys up. I mean, the economy's blossoming, obviously, for GG How. What do you do if you're NASR? Like you said, maybe commit 3 towards B, and it looks like that is at least initially the call. Put some presence here, see if you can get anything, but counter utility is solid. Molotov will do some good work at the very least onto Facecrack. The HE will chip away at a few. They want to contest this. Pot flashes to get them in. But Propler's actually bailed out through a late Molotov, so a ton of damage done again. You know, you look at these early damage trades and they almost seem to favor that T side just a little more. And they're actually bailing out. They're not going to continue contesting this banana control. They've thrown what they can. And now they've got to go back to the A site because that's been so consistently vulnerable. They can't afford to leave it unmanned for so long.
Yeah, unfortunately, they don't get much info or map control from their play around Banana, but they do some pretty good damage, so that's certainly something they can be happy about. Rotating the op back around as well. Hopefully ease a bit of pressure on that B bomb site, but again, no presence around brackets. They're not even peeking from short with a player trying to at least obtain some info. So GG How are going to be able to advance forward, and it looks like they might want to go for the B split at this point. Yeah, perhaps even working through that long smoke. As you can see, one player has crept his way forward. That's Blue Phoenix. He's going to be checked in a sec by Propler, but he's incredibly low, and actually they managed to avoid each other with the time, and it doesn't look like he wants to go around through the spawn anymore. Perhaps he can cut off the rotation instead.
This off angle for Realize is going to be tested majorly. Multiple bodies. He gets one, but now he's isolated and there's nothing the trade can do. This is chaos. A Glock has just got a kill in the apartments. Bomb wants to commit in towards this B site. There's no CT smoke. The trades are clean, and as much as Almeza picks off the flank, the bomb is going to go down on B, and he's going to be asked again to clutch this one up. No kit, 1v2. Mestal playing close to the smoke is going to cause a huge amount of problems here. Let's see if he can even get past the big green killer machine that is JJHDavCost at the moment. And well, that looks like it might be a tall order. Missed shot initially. Almeza's still stuck is the problem. The Molotov to force JJHDavCost into a new angle, but he'll just scope back up. Bomb so far ticked. The round so far gone. 9 on the board for GG How. I mean, is there a fast forward button? Because I feel like I'm watching the same tape on repeat.
Shift F1 is it to bring up the... Or I can type demo UI and then skip skip round. That'll do it, right?
I mean, you may as well. It's not like you're watching the same thing happen over and over again. And at no point are we really seeing a concerted effort from NASR to change it. Like, it was a nice idea there with all the util drop down banana, and you thought, great, they've done a ton of damage. They can contest this. And then they back out entirely and they go back into the same default setup they're running every single round. And then they get broken into on the site.
I understand why they hesitated with their B aggression at that point, because I think the molly went down on the corner. One player kind of got trapped around sandbags. The other two weren't really able to help him. And by the time it went away, he just decided to fall back off. And then they just took too long rotating the op back around. They had 4 on B for a couple of seconds at one point. Instead of getting aggressive in brackets, while they knew 2 to 3 players at least were preoccupied on banana. So yeah, they could have had definitely the slightly more aggressive A stance, which would have wasted more time as they were moving back from banana and such, and just made things slightly more complicated for JJH, because right now it's all seeming so simple. They just need to play out their default and a round win comes their way.
Yeah, that's it. This time, even more fortunate, you have to say, with the wall bang through the apartments, but they've earned that luck, they've earned that fortune, and that timing from Meztal is disgusting to deal with, realize. But again, it's not unearned. They're playing this smart. The aggression this time from NASR to try and get something done, but the man advantage is wrestled back. And if they're smart about this, they'll realize the B site is open as well. Remind working his way into apps. Might have his opportunity here. Bibu on the rotation from B. He's quickly cut down, and now it's all on that last man. Remind, half HP. Inside of the apartments, his barrel will stick around this corner if he watches for it, and he checks the corner as well. Double digits. An improvement from JJH, and quite frankly, it doesn't look like it's going to stop there.
No, it feels like 13-2 is almost inevitable at this point. How it's been going. I mean, it was 2-0 initially for NASR. If JJH had taken the pistol round, this could be on track for a 16-0. It really does go to show you the difference from yesterday, where it was 16-13. But as you had pointed out, there was a few rounds in there where NASR pulled off little mini miracles, and they were very important rounds as well that allowed them to build up an extra few and really make it as close as it was. JJH definitely were the better Inferno team, and I think today that's shown even more.
NASR desperate to scramble something. A few rounds at the death would go a long way to building even just confidence for Vertigo at this point, right? Just build up some kind of belief. Some kind of faith that you can get this done. Because you're going to need all the faith in the world. If you can't get this map, life gets very difficult. Pause is taken to try and work out the solution to what seems to be the impossible problem. The buys will keep on coming for JJH, and NASR continuing to run at a brick wall at the moment. Bibu with the MP9 this time. FAMAS for Almeza to get a little bit of more utility. A little bit of something. They want to contest top banana this time. Almeza and Bibu lurking around that portion of the map, dropping some util, feigning B control. Maybe doing a little more than feigning it this time as Bibu charging down. Looks to take some proactivity, takes the logs and takes control for the first time really of banana for this CT side.
Yeah, as well as a much more aggressive mid-hold with this boost up on quad, with a boost up on the flowers as well. I like it. Unfortunately, Bibu seems to be looking up banana. That was a little bit strange. Your teammate's that way, bro. Getting a bit turned around, unfortunately. Almeza now is going to need to try and keep things from spiraling completely out of control, and he does so with that 1 kill and just falling back onto the bomb site. Now they can shift the rotation around and hopefully make this 2-2 split work in their favor. Unfortunately, no. JJH with their confidence just continue to probe everywhere on the map. Even with the bomb all the way back at the bottom of ramp, as you can see, they're just looking for these kills. They know the entries have been going so well that they may as well keep it up, but at least this time around there's a bit more of a fight being given, but it's not enough. The B bomb site eventually overrun, and although it will take the bomb a while to get here, they should be able to do so unless they want to go back A. That might be the call.
Decisions to make. I think they will go B. The problem is they're going to have to retake it because the AWP needs to get there in support of the rifles. Actually giving him a nasty angle corner of the smoke. He deals with Remind. Realizes left to clutch up. Safe plant. 1v2 to contend with. Utility gives away his positioning as well. They know exactly where to look. As Blue Phoenix tucks himself into pit. It's a nice crossfire now. JJHDavCost will take the initial shot. Blue Phoenix inside a pool, ready to swing at a moment's notice. Realize trying to work his way around coffins, but he hasn't really got time for this. He hasn't got a kit, so he's going to have to start making footsteps. That gives the plan away. And the save's called. It's as simple as that, and he's not going to be allowed to save. Of course he's not. Blue Phoenix will gun him down before he looks to escape, so it's 11 on the board. Another round by the wayside. The stomp continues.
Yeah, I mean, I've not got tons to add at this point, really. They tried to switch things up there, but fortunately it didn't really work out for them. Again, the chaos is just how JJH flourish. Realize? Bit of a half investment. He wants to have an actual op, I suppose, going into the final round of the half, and I guess it wouldn't have made too much of a difference if he went for an SMG and a couple extra nades for them. Not a terrible idea to hopefully give them some hope of salvaging a third. Boost up on the half wall, though. This is a bit of a change up. More looking like he might be expecting it, though, and indeed he is. There goes down without too much of a fight, and well, with that again, Banana, at least the bottom half of it taken under control by JJH. So much damage on Bibu.
I mean, he'll get away with his life, but the job is done, right? The damage is found, and confirmed or not, it's going to force a very rough and ready play style here. Remind does have the pot flash to get into top B, but Bibu's going in just dry, and he's going to get his head ripped off as a result. They're hitting both bomb sites. Why not? More will finally be put down, but he's done his job. He's done it brilliantly. Realize gets one. The trade is immediate. The A site is overrun. If you like, just tape that portion of me saying things and play it at about the 30-second mark in most rounds, and you've probably got it right. It's the 12th round for JJH. Remind, he is going to get this AK taken away from him, because of course he is. JJH are not letting NASR breathe, and that is going to be so stifling now.
Just the drop-off in performance from that second half of Mirage to now from NASR is insane. Inferno is clearly not a map that they feel comfortable on.
It's tough, and I'm trying not to be cynical, but they're not comfortable on Inferno. They're not comfortable on Overpass. They're not comfortable on Nuke. It's such a narrow map pool now.
And they're the maps they keep letting through.
Exactly, and you're conceding. You're going to concede maps because you just don't have the pool to do anything else. Aggression is the call this time. Nets them an early 1-for-1. Remind has taken a ton of damage though. Hopler just not expecting this Apps player. It's a rough and ready old fight, but Blue Phoenix gets the better of it. And now with the man advantage, with Remind down on 9 HP, Almazar trying to get something going, but when it rains, it pours. JJHDavCost missed the shot. Quick switch to D. Spam through the smoke, lucky not to find Remind. And yeah, this is going to be 13-2 unless there is an absolute miracle out of one of these boys on NASR. And with Remind on 9 HP, you can't imagine it's going to be him who pulls it out and realizes on the wrong site.
Yeah, he's even being wrapped on through the spawn right now. One pushed up into construction, that's an op, so his health doesn't make too much of a difference in that first fight unless he's not looking, which always is going to complicate things. And, well, Realize doesn't have an option of saving, of course, because it is the final round of the half, so he's going to have to give this 1-on-4 a go. With an op, with no kit, fairly limited utility, just one smoke to put down to cover off one of the angles, hopefully. They've already got themselves set up here around the half wall. The op, though, initially not landing the shot. A trade out to the FAMAS is perfect to find the follow-up. Blue Phoenix swung wide, expecting an easy trade. Instead, now a 1-on-2 with perhaps some hope here, but he needs to move incredibly quickly.
Yeah, that lack of a kit's going to be his undoing, isn't it? 13-2 at the half. JJH, I mean, if you wanted to put a statement out after that second half of Mirage, I think you have achieved it. now just 3 rounds away from Vertigo. Deciding map in this series and clearly brimming with confidence, Dean. I mean, I think there's no doubt about that whatsoever. You've got to imagine this CT side is going to be full of aggression and full of just punishment because they are feeling it right now.
Yeah, it was like that a bit yesterday as well. They ended up going 7-7. There was a good bit of back and forth, actually. I think NASR may have got a better start onto their T side yesterday as well before JJH started to come back, and then they just kind of traded from that point onwards. If you see something similar, of course, inevitably JJH will be victorious, so NASR are going to need to come out with a just as dominant T side here if they have any hope of trying to end this in 2 maps. If not, we're going on to Vertigo, which again is a complete unknown for NASR and nearly a complete unknown for JJH as well. Only the Israeli core has actually played it in an official, and they lost that as well. Peeking towards the apps, this is something we didn't really see at all from NASR. I did say a couple times maybe backing that up with a flash would have been a good idea to restrict some control around second mid, maybe leave someone watching the mid fall up and stuff. But no, it's JJH instead are the ones who do like to take that initiative. Propla's going to find an opening kill though, and this is a decent start for NASR. Oh, nasty.
Nice, second kill. Opens things up. 1 man left inside of the site. Facecrack to try and do what he can. He taps away at 1, grabs a second out of nowhere, wants the third. He's running out of ammo. I don't know how he's still alive. He's finally put down. 1 player on the fast rotation in Blue Phoenix, the other miles away in Mesdal, but that's not going to matter because the bomb is in spawn. So they will have a free 2-on-2 inside of this site. Oh, mate, that is disgusting on the P250. Drags it back into the 1-on-3. Remind only just working that bomb into a position. Spotted out by Realize. Back into CT. Here's that bomb going down. Should be dealt with here. Bomb ticking away slowly but surely. Blue Phoenix a little bit stuck in towards CT spawn. Almazer just constantly making sure he knows exactly that he's here in new boxes and you've got to clear me if you're going to get anything done at all. And that P250 chimes in for 3. First round in a long time for NASR. A long way from home, but you've got to start somewhere.
I'd start by trying to click my heels together a few times. Because
I mean,
they do need a miracle.
You may as well.
Yeah. It's going to be the full eco, I'd imagine. No. Inferno, I do prefer if the buy comes in here, because even if you eco, sure, you're going to get rifles into that next round, but you won't really get too much utility behind it. Instead, you can go for the force here with some pistols, get a decent few nades, and actually have a good enough shot at actually winning out the force buy. If not, you take 1 eco, and then you get a much better buy into the gun round following instead. So I think it is a map where, with the utility being so important, that's usually the strategy to go with. And they're going to straight up just risk this B stack. 4 players straight over. They're going to trust Blue Phoenix as a solo A defender. And I think they've made the right decision.
I mean, why not? There is going to be some prodding and poke in top B. Spotty's here, ready and waiting for it. First AK goes. Bibu next up into the gauntlet. Traded cleanly. T-side have got a decision to make now, and that decision is to back away. It's the right call to be made. It will allow for some rifles to be recovered, though, and they will scramble. If Blue Phoenix can get a kill on this A site, then this is doable. They're wrapping him long at the moment. The AK is a little slow to rotate as a result, but they are working their way here, and Blue Phoenix tucks himself in. Prepares for war, knows he's going to be tested from multiple angles here. Mind is a little slow on the draw, and he gets taken down for free. Now the support is here. JJHDavCost goes down to Propler. The inside side player should be dealt with now, and indeed he is by Realize. It's 2v2, rifles on rifles, and they've got damage on Propler, but Mestal can't quite connect. Taken out by Realize, and it leaves more in a 1v2. No kit as well, so he's got to be quick about this. It's a nice little crossfire as well between Realize and Propler. Should be able to mop this one up without too many issues. The crack angle. Propler actually goes into the smoke, and that allows more, a little bit more breathing room, but he can't find Realize. They skim by a 4th round, you have to say. That force by very nearly getting it done for JJH, but NASR survive. They fight, live to fight another day.
It doesn't inspire a ton of confidence by any means. Thankfully, they're going to be up against an eco now, so they have a chance to maybe make up for it, try and keep everyone alive. Potentially that would allow the economy to at least somewhat stabilize, which is going to be necessary, because if they're ever put onto an eco, let alone a double eco, they're screwed. So yeah, pause coming in. I wonder who from. Maybe NASR. JJH aren't on a buy yet. Either way, time given to GG how about to figure out how they want to approach this round. They've got a couple of deagles, a flash, a smoke in there as well. P250 to back that up. If they can take even 2 or 3 kills, then on top of the damage from the previous round, NASR would be very vulnerable.
Two deags, P250. Plenty of opportunity for Remind to farm up on that Mac 10 here. Needs to top mid, chipping away at Blue Phoenix early. NASR have clearly got an idea of how they want to play this T side. It's just a question of how much room have they really left themselves with after such a disastrous first half. Bracket control taken. Mori trusted solo B this time, spotted out, will have to drop his smoke. Facecrack's trying to poke with the deagle, will find one onto Remind, and that's not a good start now. It's going to funnel them into the B site, and you can see JJH know what's coming. Rapid rotation. Was going to be everyone. A couple of players were sent back last minute, but now surely they'll join the rest of the defense. Smokes block them out for now. Boost over the top for JJHDavCost to try and give him something to work with. It's a tag. It's not quite the kill though, and Propler takes advantage. Low HP bars on the remaining CTs now. Should just be a matter of mopping up these remaining kills where they are. Everybody tagged down low, in fact. A little bit more damage would be good. Blue Phoenix through the smoke finds one. Keeping it expensive, as you said, making it economically difficult for NASR and JJH at this point, but through the smoke, low HP bars, they should just be mopped up.
Facecrack tucked in the corner watching his teammates die. Not in a baiting sense right there, because they were just trying to stay alive basically, but it's quite intimidating, I'd imagine. Dropping around them, just avoiding the bullets. Either way, a 5th round to NASR, again, not as convincing as I would have liked, but they keep 3 standing. They ensure there's no weakness really to this buy other than the weaker weapons that were retained, which are the Galils. Definitely not a bonus round by any means, but they have an up on Realize, and well, hopefully they have something in store to keep this comeback going, because it's still possible that they could turn things around. We said the T-side was where they looked better yesterday. They just need a ridiculously strong one if they want to actually get the comeback, of course. Anna being challenged somewhat by JJH, taking a nade as they try and fall off, but they outputted just as much, and well, maybe even a ton more. As you see 3 players heavily tagged up, especially Bibu, left on 26. Not having a good game, and well, not going to be given much of a chance to turn that around right now.
Safe to say they are the walking wounded. Working their way back in towards that A site to see if maybe they can find a little bit of something. Five players queued up towards the bracket. Gonna work their way out long here, and they will be giving it for free. CT smoke to try and give a little bit of breathing room, but they're happy to turtle up inside the site through the edges. They hear the footsteps. Meztal takes advantage, and this is where all of those tags, all of that chip damage comes into its own. Blue Phoenix drops the bomb. JJHDavCost with one more, and JJH, the rifles come out, and they really look to dominate here. JJHDavCost tucks himself in. You'll hear the footsteps of the man looking to work towards Boiler, surely. Timing could be a little nasty, but well, that sums it up. Remind looking the wrong way, gets taken out of the equation. Almazer is left in a 1v5. And he tries valiantly to get himself into an angle to do something. He grabs a kill, in fact, but JJHDavCost is there to put his man down. And JJH are back to their winning ways.
Yeah, a little bit of a stumble in there, but as we had mentioned, they only really needed the 1 round to instantly leave NASR on a notably weaker buy. It's not as poor maybe as it could have been if they got another kill or so on that previous eco round when they had that stack in place. But still, there's 2 Galils, there's only a couple AKs and a Tech 9, and very few nades as well for them to try and establish early map control. So a good opportunity for JJH to pretty much put a finish to it right now. Tech 9.
Oh, it grabs the double as well. Blue Phoenix gets 1 lurk kill, but that's full beat control. Rifles all over the shop recovered as well. This starts to get really chaotic now. Reminder's on the flank, and he'll find one. Blue Phoenix just about staying alive on the T ramp, but he is being pincered in from absolutely everywhere. My auto director wants nothing to do with it. But it's going to be Mezcal in a 1v4 now. Should be dealt with as well. Indeed he is. Where did that come from, Dean? That's just chaos. I didn't see any of that either. I think my auto director might have gone.
Mine was okay, but I was eating some jellies. So, I missed a little bit of it. It's been one of those games, you know? I was getting a bit snacky. We've had a long day as well. They were sour, and now my now I'm struggling with the words because of it. But it's 8 rounds of the difference. NASR may be feeling a little bit sour overall, but the fact that they were able to turn things around on the brink of defeat right there might inspire a small bit of hope once again. But look at the HEs. This is going to be dangerous. There's a couple players around. Banana, 1 kill at least being found on top of a small bit of damage on Propla. Not a terrible start, but they still don't really have the weaponry to back it up. So NASR have their chance to try and turn things around, but it's certainly an intimidating way to kick things off.
Intimidating to say the very least. Man advantage, and it always makes you nervous about these pistols. Always makes you just a little bit fidgety. Spamming away. Nothing quite connecting yet for the T side. As they look to work their way into B. It is going to be the execute. There's not too much of a stack here. 3 warm bodies for the CT side. Already tucked in behind coffins. Facecrack to pop out of this CT smoke on timing alone. Clean 1 deke to the skull of Remind to open things up. He is losing teammates though. With his position known, this becomes more and more unviable. Missed CT smoke though, starts to give him a little more room to work with. Tags to the legs of Bibu, another. Leaves him on 15 HP and Phoenix is yet to budge. Clean headshot to Propler and that's bombed down. Now there's low HP bars all around and there's men running for their lives. The bomb is dropped inside of Dark. I think they want to save, but they're already being pinned in. JJHDavCost doesn't want to let him get away with it. He's on the deagle. He's trying to lock in the rifles. JJH out of nowhere have found the magic round. There's a couple of kills, and as tempting as it may be, the round is the CTs. It's just the deagles. And it's just 1 more round to Vertigo.
That's one way to do it. As you said, none of the weapons, at the very least, are carried over, but that's not really an issue at this point, you wouldn't imagine, for JJH. They have all the money they need to buy up. They're going to be against at least a solid buy from NASR, which is one positive. Those couple of weapons being saved over really did help them out. But they just about salvage it. There's limited utility, and, well, they need 9 in a row at this point if they want to take it towards an overtime. It's looking like Vertigo is inevitable. And again, we just have no idea what to expect. And considering how much the tempo can change from map to map, even from half to half, I'm not going to count NASR out, but it's not looking fantastic, I'm going to say.
It's not looking ideal, is it? This time some good damage onto Facecrack in the opening moments on B. Forcing back that banana control. Cost them a lot of their utility, though, to achieve it. Very slim pickings now. Pop flash in towards mid for the CT side. Just to feign the idea, just to make them a little more concerned. Blue Phoenix tucked. Waits for the push in. Past the molly goes Almeza. Free pickup. And advantage now there for the CT side. And what do NASR do? They're backing up. Trying to work their way back towards B, but it's aggression from Blue Phoenix. It catches the lurk. The fake that was supposed to be sold has been unraveled, and it's going to be this straight play. JJHDavCost tagged up, goes back in for more and finds it. 2 players left. The nades tickle in their feet. They need to get into this B site, and they have to do it now. The rotations are coming, and more through the edge of the smoke has put it down to the last man. It's job done. We're heading to Vertigo. And that was a comprehensive performance from JJH, Dean.
Yeah, sorry, just getting us swapped over there. Yeah, no, that was ridiculous. I mean, we said they could certainly make an improvement on the T side that they had yesterday. We were hopeful with a strong pistol round from NASR in the initial moments. They even went aggressive down mid. It looked like they were going to be willing to take a bit more initiative than they were yesterday, but it was the exact opposite. Instead, they then just